Hola amigos, bienvenidos a Serpiente Emplumada. Pues hoy estamos muy honrados porque tenemos a un amigo que es el arquitecto Alexander Tokarz. Él viene de Polonia y lleva ya algunos años aquí en México desarrollando varios proyectos muy interesantes y es bien valioso para nosotros poder tenerlo aquí en el programa. So, how are you, Alex?
I'm good, how are you?
Very good, thank you. Vamos a estar platicando en inglés para que sea más cómodo, pero les dejaremos la traducción para que todos podamos comprenderlo. So, how are you? Have you been these days, this new year?
This year we're recovering from last year, and I'm hoping that this year is going to be a lot better for some new projects and new opportunities. I've been working independently for the past couple of years, so I have a lot of freedom in the projects that I do. But when times and the economic times are bad, sometimes it's also bad for me.
Yeah, I can imagine it. So can you tell us, please, what did you came originally to do here in Mexico?
So I came to Mexico about 6 years ago to work on the new airport. I was part of a group of 100 architects.
Wow.
And together we were putting together all the drawings to make sure that the project is going to be built properly. I was one of the architects in charge of the whole envelope of the airport, the facade, and the whole skin.
Wow.
And I was preparing about 300 to 500 drawings for the Secretary of Transportation.
Awesome.
And this was a very intense project. We worked on it 7 days a week.
Wow.
And I worked on it for 2 years.
Oh, really? It was a very long time.
Yes.
And what did you do before that?
Before I came to Mexico, I was working in New York City,
Okay.
where I was designing different hotels, restaurants, bars, very kind of commercial kind of projects. Before that, I spent a lot of years living in Denmark.
Okay.
And working for various architecture offices, creating and designing museums, skyscrapers, libraries, a lot of cultural and civic places.
Wow, so you really have a lot of experience doing many things.
Yeah.
And how long have you been here in Mexico?
So I came to Mexico about 6 years ago,
Okay.
and I've been here ever since. So I go back and forth between the United States, but right now Mexico is my home.
Nice. We love to have you as home here. And what happened when the project of the airport finished? What happened for you or?
So the airport project was a very intense and very frustrating project at times, and I was because of the hard work, I was getting very tired and burnt out. And I told myself maybe I should leave this project and find better opportunities.
Okay.
And at the same time, we had the major earthquake.
Oh yeah.
In September.
2017.
2017, and this for me was the kind of the mental breaking point for me. I know I could no longer take it anymore. So I decided to leave the office. I spent a couple of weeks recuperating from the earthquake. My whole apartment was destroyed.
Wow.
I lived on the 12th floor.
Oof.
So I had no elevator, no electricity, no hot water. I had to carry all the water up the stairs.
Really? Wow.
But for me, it was the bad things were, it was worse outside of Mexico City than it was just here.
Yeah.
And I realized that maybe right now it would be time for me to help other people.
Nice.
So I left the office, I left the airport project, and I decided to go to Morelos,
Okay.
to Estado Mexico, to Puebla, and to help in the reconstruction process after the earthquake.
Oh, nice.
And one of the first projects I did was I helped rebuild a new church for a community.
Wow.
In Tepalcingo.
Okay.
There was a famous church there that was 400 years old that was almost destroyed, and the community they left a post on Facebook somewhere. They said we need an architect to help build a new place for us to have a service. And I just came there one weekend and I made some drawings. I gathered the people together, coordinated everybody, and I was able to build them a nice space to have their gatherings.
Nice.
So, and after that, I visited other pueblos, and we built refugios, casas, different places for people to live and to help out. And when I came back to the city, I had some clients, and since then I've been working independently, and I no longer want to return to working to these really intense, high famous projects that are more hurtful to the environment and the people than they are supposed to be.
Awesome. And how did you did the change about working in these projects and then change to the sustainable projects and more friendly with the environment? What happened in your life to decide this change?
Well, in architecture, there's a lot of projects that say they are sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So because we'll put some grass on a roof or we do something and it's supposed to be sustainable. But the reality is a lot of these projects are more hurtful to the environment than they really
Absolutely, yeah.
And during the process of the earthquake and me leaving the office, I also started, because I was in Mexico, I was experimenting with various ceremonies, various ancestral cultures. And I was introduced to ayahuasca, to kambo, to bufo, all these various medicines.
Yeah.
And through these ceremonies, I was able to really open up my brain to various perspectives.
Wow, awesome.
And because of these different perspectives and because of my volunteering and the reconstruction after the earthquake, I had a stronger connection with people and actual materials. And I no longer felt comfortable making these big giant projects for corporations, for people, when I realized it's more important to work closely with the people.
Absolutely, and with the environment, no?
Exactly.
Be friendly with everything.
And the planet, the Earth, makes a lot of materials for us available where we can use it without destroying it.
Absolutely.
And architecture, unfortunately, when you're building a lot of giant projects, you're taking the resources and destroying them, and you're not putting them back correctly.
Yeah.
So I kind of changed the style of the way I approached architecture, where I can take some of the materials, but also make sure that I'm not destroying the environment, and to make sure that I am making a positive impact on the community, on the environment, and the people.
Awesome. That's a beautiful, beautiful job. And I know that you are very involved in learning about the ancient cultures, right?
Yes.
And what did you find in them?
Ever since I came to Mexico, I became fascinated with pyramids, with ancient cultures, Azteca, Mayan, Toltec. All these things are very fascinating to me. To understand how people lived thousands of years ago, how they built these giant projects. And I'm looking into now more archaeology, trying to find all these archaeological sites that are hidden, trying to learn more about these ancient cultures, because especially in Mexico has a very rich history.
Absolutely, yeah.
And through hundreds of years it's changed and a lot of things are forgotten, but I really enjoy discovering these ancient cultures and these stories.
Wow. And if you can put some of this knowledge in the things that you build, it's awesome, no? Because you can make this balance between the knowledge, the environment, the comfort of the houses, of the spaces.
Yes.
So it's nice that you can put everything together. And what are your next projects?
Right now, I'm thinking of focusing on smaller scale projects, small houses made from sustainable materials, like cabins, or maybe also various urban interventions.
Okay.
I've recently entered a competition to make a COVID-type pavilion for Mexico City, where people can enjoy the space and dance without while still having a sana distancia, about being safe, things like that. I like designing in public spaces where people interact with the architecture.
Okay.
And I like learning more about how to make sustainable materials, adobe, bamboo, wood.
Awesome. In which projects did you work before here in Mexico about this?
Well, for example, last year during COVID, a lot of my big projects stopped. So I spent a lot of time volunteering. And I first went to Xochimilco, where I became friends with this collective, which works a lot with ayahuasca and ceremonies and temazcals.
Oh yeah, with the celos, right?
Yes. And I started helping them build the temazcal.
Oh wow!
So we started working with bamboo, with adobe, and I was visiting them on the weekends, learning how the materials, and also doing the ceremonies. So that was very nice for me. And then I was designing some cabins for Valle del Bravo. Right now, there's a type of energy where people want to leave the city and they want to come back to nature. Yeah. So a lot of people are asking me to help design projects in the woods, to come back to the mountains, to come back to nature. At the same time, I also started working with Huerto Roma Verde.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in learning how to grow food inside cities, culture as well. And I was making some projects for them, building spaces for animals, some cats, some chickens, stuff like that, little things.
Beautiful.
And just learning how to work with the local materials.
Awesome. So, do you imagine that Mexico could be sometime a sustainable city?
I think Mexico has a lot of opportunities to be sustainable. Unfortunately, there's so many people here. We always tend to take the easy way out, which is using industrial materials like concrete, cemento,
Yeah.
using a lot of vehicles. So instead of using bicycles, we're using cars. But it's hard because when the infrastructure doesn't support these kind of ideas, it's hard to implement it.
Absolutely.
But to have such communities like in Xochimilco, like in Puerto Roma Verde, it's easy to copy these communities and take them out in different parts of the city.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it really takes the energy of the people. If you have the power, the energy, and you want to volunteer and make things happen, there's people out there that can allow you to make that. And it's one of the things I like about Mexico. The people here are so friendly.
Yeah.
And every time I introduce myself, I'm here to help. I want to make something. They welcome me and they allow me to share my talents with them.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love that. So thank you so much for sharing that love to the country, to the humanity, to the planet. Thank you so much. And also thank you a lot for your time. It's an honor for us to have you here because you're an inspiration for the people that it's also from here, that sometimes doesn't have this vision. And you can compare the world outside and how they think and how they live and what can we do to be better,
Yes.
all of us. So it's awesome.
Yeah, having conversations with people here, sometimes they don't know about these places that I visit.
Yeah.
And I say, you just have to look for these places, they exist, and these opportunities are out there for you. You just have to go online, search on Facebook or Google, and just you can make it happen.
Yeah, sometimes the people from outside can appreciate better the culture.
That's true.
Absolutely. Yeah.